Hi, freeing yourself. 8 lessons on forgiveness. Forgiveness is needed more today than ever, but forgiveness does not mean that the other person is right. It is freeing yourself. My question is, where and when did you learn forgiveness? Hi, if I haven't met you, I'm Mary Ellen Collins, founder of the Motherless Daughters Ministry. I'm bringing you Monday morning ministry moments, and today I want to really dig in and understand where and when we have learned forgiveness. And each Monday morning, we're going to bring you messages, quotes, stories, support, ways that connect all of us together. Encourage other motherless daughters and share this message with them if you know someone. And if the message is speaking to you, tell us about that. Tell us how you like this or not. But particularly today, let's talk about where and when did you learn forgiveness? We want to hear from you. So this ministry was created for you, to support you, to walk with you, to hold you, and to be present with you on your lost journey. I've been digging into the memories of my life and trying to recall some of the sources of my beliefs. Where did they come from? Who did they come from? What was the first memory about what I had, about where I had to learn how to forgive or give grace? I had to dig. Okay, I found it. Ready? Are you ready to listen to my story? Well, my first forgiveness memory was telling my brother I was sorry for calling him a bad name. Now, of course, I got punished for doing that. I'm only 3 years old. I don't think I learned a real true lesson from that experience. Just to call them bad names when my mom couldn't hear me. But really, I am remembering another situation which I think is a better example. I am about 5 years old, and I have been shopping at the dime store. Now, dime stores were like prehistoric versions of Target with my mom. In the 50s, shopping was an all-day activity. We did not have the convenience of automobiles just to zoom off where we wanted. But you had to take a bus, and you had to transfer from one place to another place and to another place until you reached your destination. And you had to tote all your purchases when you reversed the process. So as we shopped, I saw a little container of rouge, which is prehistoric blush, which I thought I had to have. Mom said no, but I slid it into my pocket. No one had seen me. Success! Well, when we returned home, I reached into my pocket and I showed my mother what had fallen. I said, this has fallen into my pocket. I don't know how it got there. Well, she immediately put my coat on and off we went. She explained to me that taking something that belonged to somebody else was not okay, and it must be returned to the rightful owner. I tried again to make her understand that I could not possibly know who the rightful owner was since it magically appeared in my pocket. Now, I was not only a thief, I was a liar too. The bus ride was a trip to purgatory when I learned I would not be able just to take that and put it back on the shelf. I had to tell the owner what I had done, and I had to ask for his forgiveness. I panicked. What ifs played out in my head. I saw myself as the only 5-year-old in history behind bars. By the time we arrived at the gates of hell, I was a basket case. My mother asked the girl at the counter if she could speak to her. The look on her face was confusion and wondered what she had done wrong. My mother explained that I had something that belonged to the owner and I needed to return it. Now, even though the girl offered to relieve me of my impending doom, my mother insisted that we see the owner. Well, when the owner arrived, my mother told me, "Go ahead." What? I was tongue-tied. What would I say? What would he say? I began in this wee small voice to tell him I thought this was so pretty that I'd put it in my pocket. The man looked from me to my mother with confusion and then suddenly realized the opportunity in front of him. He accepted my apology and returned the item. He told me how brave I was to own up to my act. He accepted it and walked away. Now, that part was over, and I was just facing the wrath of my warden. Instead of yelling and screaming, my mom simply asked, "What did you learn?" It couldn't be that simple, could it? I am a mother and a grandmother, and today that incident is as fresh in my mind as yesterday. Well, 8 things I learned. I learned not to take things that don't belong to me. I learned that one act of transgression leads to another. It is so easy to sin and then sin again to cover up the first one. I learned that it is difficult to own up to your transgressions. I learned that when someone loves you with Christ-like love, forgiveness and grace is easy. I learned that life is full of opportunities to teach and show forgiveness and grace. I learned that we are constantly modeling to our children lessons that will stick with them throughout their life. It did with me. I think I am really still learning. These still work for me today. So my prayer for you is to know that forgiveness is not telling anyone they were right. It's freeing you. Now it's in God's hand. Let him take care of it. When did you learn forgiveness? Every day is a new opportunity to practice forgiveness, especially in these times. How do you use the lessons that you learned? Tell me what you did. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye.